This audio is on 5 key principles of CBT that the therapy is based on. There is a lot more to it than this, and you would have to read more of Brilliant Cognitive Behavioral Therapy by Dr. Stephen Briers to understand this. Principle 1. There is always another point of view. This means there are certain habits ingrained in our thinking style that predispose us towards seeing the world in a particular way, encouraging us to favor certain interpretations over others. Some of these interpretations can be particularly downbeat, causing symptoms like depression, anxiety, anger, and blame. Principle 2. Events don't cause our feelings. It's our interpretation of them and how we react that cause our feelings. Events, to meaning or interpretation, to reaction is the correct way we see the world or react. Feelings come under reaction, and meaning or interpretation is caused by our beliefs. Principle 3. We all evolve characteristic ways of seeing the world. A lot of our thoughts are negative and automatic. These are coined negative automatic thoughts, or NATs. They appear to just be instinctive. We can retrain the way we think to avoid these, as they leave us at the mercy of unintended emotions. This is what CBT is about, retraining our minds to avoid these negative and automatic thoughts that leave us prone to getting unintended and unnecessary harmful emotions. Styles of thinking develop over time and become so entrenched by experience, which works from the outside in, and beliefs which work from the inside out. Experiences shape our perception of the world. We instinctively draw conclusions from our experiences and patterns of experiences. These create beliefs in layers. Our beliefs are initially formed when children, based on limited evidence, and are thankfully subject to change. They may be formed by our parents telling us negative things like, "You're an idiot, you won't amount to anything." These may well predispose us to think in a negative way. Dysfunctional assumptions. Dysfunctional assumptions, this is still talking about Principle 3, which is we all evolve characteristic ways of seeing the world. They're rigid and oppressive or narrow-minded assumptions that consequently make us unhappy. They're often conditional statements like, if I do everything perfectly, I will be loved, or moral imperatives such as, I must never express my anger, I should always put others before myself. Dysfunctional assumptions are one layer down from negative automatic thoughts, meaning they give rise to NATs. These are tackled in therapy, and doing so will make a person less vulnerable to a host of NATs that flow readily from them. For example, the dysfunctional assumption that I must do everything perfectly to be loved is at the center of these NATs, which are, the dinner is burnt, he's going to hate me. I've got to find exactly the right present for everyone. I'm never going to be good enough for her. Core beliefs. Over time, our dysfunctional assumptions gradually harden into core beliefs. These are a set of fundamental position statements that we have intuitively instilled on ourselves through learning about the world around us and making assumptions. They're much harder to pin down than NATs because they take the form of implicit knowledge. Some destructive core beliefs are, I am a bad person, everyone is out for themselves, I'm not allowed to have anything good in my life, the world is a dangerous place. These are fundamental to our working model of the world and are strongly resistant to change. They can be formed in childhood due to the repeating nature of events or in any situation where events repeat themselves. Critical incident. A single event known as a critical incident can make us jump to feelings about the world which are hard to shake if they come with strong enough negative emotions. They can remain even if evidence doesn't support it. This is because we don't normally revisit and reevaluate events that come with such threatening emotions. This is the end of Principle 3, which is how experiences shape our beliefs. A core tenet of CBT is that beliefs shape our experiences as well. This is an example of what a racist might do. A racist might discount or ignore information that doesn't fit with his preconceptions, exaggerate elements that fit with his views, explain away elements that don't fit with his beliefs as exceptions to the rule, attribute negative motivations that fit his beliefs. Most of us adopt similar tactics to protect our internal model of the world. Our assumptions and core beliefs often act as filters that block out anything that doesn't fit with our preconceptions. We may find ourselves unconsciously seeking experiences designed to reinforce our existing beliefs, like the person who moves from one abusive relationship to another. Moving into a loving relationship might put pressure on the belief that he or she holds that they're worthless. Sadly, we often cling to beliefs even if they don't help us. Perhaps it's because we like to know where we stand so we don't feel lost, confused, and out of control. However, CBT can help you challenge and change those dysfunctional beliefs. Principle 5. It's a two-way street. Certain thoughts can create certain emotions, like if I think I'm ugly, it can create feelings of shame, disgust, or sadness. Also, if you're feeling sad, you're more likely to think you're ugly. Our physiological behavior, meaning our body's behavior, can cause us to experience certain powerful emotions and thoughts. But conversely, emotions and thoughts can also directly affect our bodies. There is an example of someone thinking they're having a heart attack when they're not, and their anxiety rising and rising to unhealthy levels. This two-way street is really important in CBT, as they can help us to understand how problems become established and what keeps them going. CBT proposes changes in one of our thoughts, actions, behavior, emotions will produce changes in another area. Principle 5. We're all scientists at heart. We build theories of the world as we go along. CBT relies on the fact that these theories can be changed if they are unreasonable. CBT relies on the fact that we are all reasonable people at heart. We also need theories that fit with what we know of the world and can make convincing sense of our lives. CBT exploits this desire by encouraging us to look at how we might be distorting things to fit our beliefs, understand our assumptions that steer our thoughts and reactions, treating them as provisional theories, hypotheses to be tested, and test out the truth of our beliefs and assumptions against purpose-built behavioral experiments. To conduct an objective review of all relevant information to see whether this data fits with our existing beliefs or whether those beliefs need to change. This principle shows that CBT works by the fact that few of us are not open to persuasion by reasonable argument and evidence of our own senses.